All right, everybody, happy Pokemon Day, or should I say Pokemon Week. I felt now is as good a time as any to show off my current Rowlet TCG collection that I've been working on for quite a while now. I know that everyone else is showing off their binders and talking about the games and how excited we are for the 30th anniversary. The hype could not be more real. That the fact that they shadow announced Fire Red and Leaf Green finally coming to the Nintendo Switch after all these years of begging and pleading for them to do that. So I think now is as good a time as any to go ahead and jump right in. But I want to start off and give one of my friends a shout out. Recently for my birthday, they did get me this really cool Rowlet pin. As you know, Rowlet is Pokemon number 722 in the Pokedex. I believe they got this off of the Pokemon Center website. I don't know where I plan on placing this Rowlet. I thought about putting them on my binder somewhere, but I really don't want the pins to poke through and cause any damage to the cards, but I do love having this either way. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump right in. This is my near complete Rowlet English set. I am missing one card, and don't worry, we will get to that moment. I just thought it'd be really cool to show off, what I currently have in terms of my collection. And I do have to say one thing is don't feel like you need to buy everything today. Like if you're trying to collect any particular Pokemon or any particular set, you do not have to complete a master set while that set is still being the active set. Some of these cards can be extremely pricey, and you know what? That card is still going to exist. Other collectors will see too that these Pokemon cards will maintain their value because it's valuable to them as well as a seller, as my cat appears in the backgrounds. So I've collected a lot of these. Even some of the older cards I pay like $1, $2, or I got them in like a bulk collection. I did actually get, this looks like it is the McDonald's, if I could pull it out of this case. This is the McDonald's Rowlet Confetti, if you can see that little holographic going on there. So picking up some Happy Meals, and I heard that they will be announcing potentially a McDonald's collection again with Pokemon, because that always does popular. Myself, I'm sure like many other people, ran out and bought that PSA 10 Pikachu eating a McDonald's hamburger, because who doesn't want a card of Pikachu eating a McDonald's hamburger, because that's a beautiful sight. Yay, capitalism. But as you see, I have all these cool, holo, reverse holo, and then this obviously is the most expensive set of the Rowlet collection, is the Rowlet and Alolan Executor. This particular card being the most expensive of the bunch. If I could pull this out with one hand, that is what she said. And I know what you're thinking. Where on earth is Rowlet? This is just Alolan Executor. But actually, if my camera will zoom in, there he is, sitting at the top there. Rowlet and Alolan Executor are actually two of my favorite Pokemon. Rowlet being my favorite starter. It was Charmander for, pretty much until Rowlet came out. I've only ever picked Charmander if that was given the option. He's always been my fire Pokemon, my favorite Pokemon. And then Rowlet definitely stole the show after he was finally announced. And Alolan Executor is just so ridiculous. The fact that he is a dragon-type Pokemon and just is so tall that he typically never fits on the screen. Every time I shiny hunt him, you basically just see like part of the neck, and that's all that you really get to see on him. I think he's just such a fun Pokemon, so ridiculous. And then we have, of course, the beautiful rainbow cards. Another, I believe this is the 2017 Confetti McDonald's promotional card as well. And one thing I did learn from, collecting a single Pokemon is that there are so many different types of holographic variants, such as this one. I think it's called like a wave or water something, I don't know. But all I knew is that I had to figure out what all of these different, you know, Cosmos or Galaxy holographic variants were. And we get over to my last page for Rowlet. Again, reverse holo, and then this is the Cosmos, or I guess I should say Galaxy holographic card. These are not fun getting out of the case. As you see, it has these kind of like little circle bubbles in there. And that's how you can tell that it is a different variant. But yeah, like I said before, there is one Rowlet card that I am currently missing. And that is the signed card. So for a while I thought this guy, this little Canada exclusive promo, was the final card needed for my collection. I was so excited when he finally came in because he was indeed a Canada only promotional card, but there actually is a tournament card with an autographed signature on it that will be getting added to right here, as well as the perfect order cards, and of course the celebrations is going to have some additional cards placed for that as well that they've already been showing off. And since I completed Rowlet, I actually did jump on my Dartrix collection as well, which, you know, one benefit that really pushed me to wanting to finish the Dartrix collection was the fact that there's so few of them. You know, everybody loves the starter, they love the final evolution. The middle child tends to be a little neglected, and these are actually the only two Dartrix cards that I am missing from this set. Is this reverse holo and this base card for this reverse holo. So I will be hunting those down soon to complete my Dartrix collection. And honestly, like, again, like I was saying, you know, getting to get that Rowlet collection completed really pushed me to want to finish out his entire evolution line. Again, I believe that's another Cosmos or Galaxy, however you want to call it. And this is, again, this is the signature. This is the individual, I guess, that completed the World Championship, and they actually have a different backing. If I can not damage the card while I take it out. They actually have this cool World Championship printed on the back there. So I am only missing the Rowlet for that, so I will be looking for him and completing that set. My Decidueye, on the other hand, is definitely more in the lacking category. I do have some pretty great cards in this collection, and I know that his Hisuian evolution form was a little contested with the fans. Some people liked it, some people hated it. I thought it was pretty cool. But again, I am biased because I do love me some Rowlet. So yeah, I believe the Decidueye has the same amount as Rowlet does in terms of cards to collect, because he also had quite a few promotional cards going on. So this is my Decidueye collection. It still has a few missing in it, like this whole row down here, and then these last cards on the ends here do complete the Decidueye collection, as my cat hears or sees something outside. And I did want to kind of spoof up my binder. These are still things that are in the works that I'll be added. I believe this was a promo only found in South Korea for Dominoes. And then this is just a little card sleeve that you can get from Pokemon Center. And then I obviously wanted to add some fan-made stuff as well. Got this cool Pikachu Rowlet, which is somewhat of a Japanese throwback. There is a Japanese promo card with Pikachu wearing a Rowlet costume. Again, a couple more sleeves, and then just some really beautiful artwork down here that I wanted to add to spruce up my binder, as well as this real derpy card that, you know, just kind of makes me laugh. I like it. Same with this one. This is another great one. And then I do start off some of my Japanese card collections that I will be working on, because now that I'm fairly far along with my Rowlet collection, I figured, you know what? Let me jump back into collecting Rowlet cards, and actually this card, which should be a part of Perfect Order when that gets released. When I first saw this Japanese card, my only reaction was I have to finish my Rowlet collection, and that I think it's called Illustration Rare of Rowlet and Alolan Executor is a little on the pricier side in English, and so that was kind of my big deterrent for a long time, just thinking about the cost. But when it came down to him being one of the last cards I really needed, I was more than willing to just say, you know what, I should just jump in and finish my Rowlet collection. Again, you should never feel rushed. You should never, financially hurt yourself trying to complete your collection. The cards will still exist. Someone somewhere will have a bulk of the card that you want, and they will sell it to you for $1 on eBay. And then these are just some additional cards I thought that I could use for trading or giving away, when you're showing off your collection and like kids get excited. They always get thrilled when you're just like, here, you can have one. Some of these I did get in, again, in bulk. You go to purchase from someone online and they're just like, oh yeah, here's, all the hollows, reverse hollows, whatever, for like $5. So you add that to cart instead. And a couple 25th promos. I believe these are the McDonald's non-hollows. And then to finish off this journey through my Vault X binder, I thought we would do something else that was pretty cool that showed that sometimes I am a little reckless with my money. And we will go through my slabs. So starting off, I have this Rowlet and Alolan Executor in a PSA 8. Followed by this really cool Rowlet card. Obviously, being a shiny hunter, I am all about my shinies. And this card I actually am giving away to a coworker. I have a couple friends that I usually talk to about Pokemon at work about, and so just to kind of get them excited, I already talked to my wife about it, so she's okay. I bought them a couple Pokemon cards. One girl loves Rowlet, another girl loves Eevee, so I got them both a couple PSA graded cards just to make their week, since Pokemon has such a big day coming. Again, I have another one as a PSA 10 that is in my collection that I absolutely adore. This card. Again, all I do is shiny hunt for fun, and that's where I get my value in playing the Pokemon games, is just seeing those sparkles on the screen, playing the Legends games, and hearing the little, birtle-a-ding that goes on. It always just gives you that fun rush. And you got a Dartrix here. Another Dartrix, but a 10. I do try to focus more on the 10s, but sometimes a 10, the difference between a 10 and a 9 is you don't even see the difference, but PSA sees something allegedly, and the value difference is drastic. And then we'll go on to Decidueye, which that's such a cool card, man. He is such a great, what a great evolution line. Another Decidueye. I keep putting my hand in the way. Again, I love my shinies. And then to end everything off, I have a couple cards. So like I showed off, I am starting to collect the Japanese collection of Rowlet. And I do have, again, this is a PSA 6, but I genuinely don't care. I am more than likely going to crack this and add it to my binder once I finish the rest of the Japanese Rowlet collection, just because I think it's so awesome. And I think probably my most valuable Rowlet card is this, Screaming. It's the Rowlet Munch promo card. I actually got this. I regret not buying a higher grade because, again, I was trying not to break the bank. I think I got it for like $100, and now I see it online for like 500, and the PSA 10 is going for like well over $1,000, which I think is ridiculous. Again, if I can push myself to complete the rest of the Rowlet collection, I am including that Pikachu poncho wearing Rowlet. If I do complete that and I crack this one, I will also crack my Munch Screaming Rowlet card just to have my binder completed. But thank you again so much for watching. Again, happy Pokemon Day. I can't believe it's been 30 years of, just being a giant part of everyone's lives. Like it's really been something else. I'm pretty sure, as a small child, none of us ever thought that Pokemon would ever, be this big of an impact on us. But it's been a wild ride. I'm so glad to share it with all of you. I really hope you appreciated my video, and I am working on more engaging, fun content for the future. So please stay tuned for that. I know I mostly just post shorts, but I am working on some shiny only runs, and that obviously takes a little bit more time than just catching random shinies that happen to sparkle on my screen. But I do, again, appreciate all of you jumping on and watching my videos and, chatting with me. I always try to write back to people. But thank you again so much. Happy Pokemon Day. Have a wonderful, blessed week. God bless.